And without further ado, you are now into the Psy Tai Podcast with your host, Ty Santi. We are here, this place where you combine your mind with your heart, connect all those three circles, and let whatever come out, just come on out. Let's cue this intro. Oh, it was about to play twice. But yeah, we here. Hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time is coming at y'all. Enjoy this energy, take part in this atmosphere. Now we all in the same boat. We can start the conversation. Yeah, it's awesome. Hot day. The skies are finally clearing out here in Northern California. You know, we had the fires going on all around Cali, seems as though, especially up here in the Bay Area. And I'm like 3 hours from the Bay, and I'm still really close to where a lot of fires are happening. And while I'm talking right now, I'm going to share this page on the Discord, which is a place you can join if you want to jump on and talk about and tie on whatever subject pop up. Current news, old news, weird news, dream news, anything like that. But I'm glad because the air quality was horrible. It's been horrible. It was like 150 on the something pollution scale. Alright, let's put this. But now is way back there. Let's get this going. Video channel right there. Let's put live at everyone. So now we're able to breathe, able to go outside. And it was messing with my throat because I was actually working out in there for a bit because I wasn't aware that the air was that bad or how it was going to affect my lungs. But it was actually ash falling from the sky for like the first 3 days. And I'm not even that close to the fire. Setting this up. What's the air quality? Oh man. Yeah, they say the air quality right now is unhealthy for sensitive groups at 100.
Air quality is unhealthy for sensitive groups at 128 right now.
Yeah, it actually went up. It was a little lower a couple days ago. So with everything going on, just hopefully everybody's staying safe and wise. Deep breathing that burn tree. Hey, Exile. That was going on. Then I had to just stay in the house and just stay with the fam and have some fun. Whatever I could do inside. Because I'm not sacrificing my body for not even fresh air. But I'm okay. And I just hope that everybody else that's going through the fires, if y'all need a hotline or if y'all got a link to a foundation that helps out the people in the fire that y'all know of, I'll plug it into the podcast so we can stay helping out people at different corners of the world. As well as those hurricanes. The hurricane came to Texas, and I had family members down there. My cousin Mike, my aunt Tamar, my aunt Myra, and my grandma recently moved down there. Texas. But the reports is, I gotta hear from my aunt and grandma, but my cousin Mike, he's actually doing okay. He's still alright. Why did my headphones just cut off? Test. Alright, there we go. Looking at this now. Oop. Wrong. My bad, I'm trying to find the right thing. Oh, there it is. Trump speaks. Hurricane lower pass, but disaster still looms over Texas. 61 more are now temporarily closed because I don't care about the Walmart. What about the people? Seriously. Nah. I didn't really look up that much information about the actual storm. But I guess, yeah. Long as they okay now, but I know it's going to be a lot of reviewing. And that was wild how that was the first time this happened in in our lifetime, that two hurricanes hit the same place at the same time. and you hear people talk about manufactured weather and all of that stuff. And that's a reality of manufacturing weather. I was watching Daily Dose of Internet, where it's this guy that found YouTube clips and then he put compilations and stuff up. But it was these people that seed clouds so that it can rain heavier and stuff like that. Let's see if we can find seeding clouds to rain. Here it is. Just a little suspicious. Your audio is only playing through the left side. Yeah, I know, bro. I can't fix that until I buy a new box. I don't know what's going on. I was talking about that yesterday. They say it works on Discord, but when they go to the YouTube and everything else, they're only playing through the left. Like, slide to the left. Psh, no slide to the right. What are you thinking? Cloud seeding involves... Here it is. Cloud seeding involves a cloud structure to increase the chance of participation. Cloud seeding adds small ice-like particles to clouds. Usually silver oxide particles are used. These particles act as additional condensation nuclei. Oh, yeah, when it comes to making the rain and stuff, like 2020 is a strong year. I gotta put this over here. They did that in Big Bear, Cali. Cloud seeding. Let's look that up. If they got something, if Google knows something about it. There it is. Wait, was this all the way in 1924? In 1924, local merchants in Big Bear was in dire straits facing another dry year. He erected a tower somewhere between Big Bear and Baldwin Lakes and proceeded to make rain, or so the story goes. By the end of March 1924, participation was above normal. Oh, 2004? This saying this. I'm gonna check out the article you put too, XL. Let me see what this one is about, because they saying all the way back in freaking 1924. Cloud modification was discovered by accident. Oh, so that's not real, because it was discovered by accident in the mid-1940s, and it has evolved into a valuable process used all over the world today. Cloud seeding involves the use of silver oxide sprinkled into clouds either from the ground or air. The process supercooled droplets of water in the clouds to form ice crystals and eventually rain or snow. Unless you have clouds that are the right kinds of clouds, there's nothing you can do with this technology, he said. You could only increase the amount of participation that otherwise would have occurred. Participation increases on average between 10 to 12%, Henderson said. Cloud seeding, while scientific process, is really very simple. It can be done from the ground with a propane-operated generator, or from the air with a plane flying above or through the clouds. The silver oxide converts the ice crystals in the clouds into moisture. Hodgson's team is on site where the seeding takes place, ready to go at any time, constantly monitoring it with all the instruments and all that stuff. Whoa. Yep, so y'all see it here. I ain't making that up. They had the technology to modify the weather for a long time. Long time. Cities okay for cloud seeding. This is the one Exile I had put in the description in the chat. Says seeding the clouds above Big Bear Valley moved a step closer to reality with the approval of funding by the Big Bear Lake City Council. So this was all approved and everything. It wasn't even done in secret. The city council agreed to provide up to $40,000 for the next 3 years to help pay for what officials hope will bring more snow to Big Bear. Cloud seeding will cost approximately $166,000 each year for 3 years. Hamilton, general manager of MWD, said a 3-year commitment will provide enough data to determine if cloud seeding works. We think it's the only way to get water up here in Big Bear. It really does work. Wellham Reach. I'm gonna look them up. Look them up right now. You know them hurricanes. They said it was real rare that 2 hurricanes. Let me see. 2 hurricanes same time. Rare. Once in a lifetime. It's another strange milestone. Yeah, this is what happened. No longer the menacing major hurricane was Thursday. Tropical depression Laura on Saturday was reduced, scattering rains across eastern portions of the mid-Atlantic. The rainfall may cause isolated flash and urban flooding in small streams and creeks to overflow their banks. Meanwhile, further south, minor to moderate river flooding is occurring or forecasted in Louisiana, Arkansas, and northern Mississippi, the city warned. Yeah, it was a big, like I said, I got family down in Texas, so I was keeping updated so I can know what to tell them or just know what's going on, because you know when people in the mix, they don't really tell you everything that's going on because they too busy trying to just survive themselves. But yeah, this big storm that came, and they said it was 5-day, and they was tracking it. And now what Exile sent, Heinrich and cloud bursting. Let's look that up. Cloud busting. Oh, look at him right there. What you got there? What you doing, bro? What you doing with that? Let's zoom in. I do not want to accept cookies. William Hine Museum was either a brilliant visionary or a dangerous crockpot. The controversial psychoanalyst moved from New York to an old farm in Raggedy and Ranganley in 1942 and named the place Oregon. He began experiments with the invention of his cloud busters that were supposed to suck what he called Oregon energy from the sky. In 1953, he used his cloud busters to make it rain. Some said he saved the Maine blueberry crop, but the FDA wasn't impressed, condemned his inventions as fraud, and threw Reach into prison where he died. So they gotta throw him in the so they say, oh nigga, you was wrong, you just frauding everybody, so we gotta lock you up until you die. That story sounds pretty fake. Reach's fans have preserved Oregon as a museum of his work. I'm pretty sure that's spelled wrong. Visitors can watch a film, Man's Right to Know. See Reach's personal items, paintings, and mysterious lab equipment, and study several of his actual surviving cloudbusters, one of which stands ready to disrupt the atmosphere over his outdoor forest tomb. Oh, there go a clear picture. What, so you just literally shoot it at the clouds? They ordered them to be burnt. The museum bookstore sells all of Reach published works, even the ones that the FDA ordered to be burnt. So they probably stole the technology and then was doing some other stuff with it. I don't know, I'm just jumping into this. Austria was the son of a Jewish. Yep. He actually went to school, like college, law school. That's not even engineering. Switched to medical studies at the time a renaissance of inquiry into human nature was beginning. After attending a talk by Sigmund Freud, then a lecturer in neurology. Oh, so he's connected to a lot of the old gods of this world. Then a lecturer in neurology. Reach took a job at the Frosvinian an experimental psychoanalytic clinic, soon earning the role of assistant director. So, what does this got to do with, what is this energy? Published his theories connecting sexuality and well-being, arguing that the ideal development of human potential and character is dependent on healthy sexual relationships built on deep trust and ego surrender. From his perspective, Reach identified human organ bioenergy, asserting this was the source of all life. Oh, that's something else different, but that's very true in my book. Flight to Scandinavia. Organs. Yeah, clouds. I want to know about the clouds. Claiming the box cure cancer. Wait, what? In his book, The Fury of Earth, a biography of Reach, Myron Sharaff notes that Reach left Norway on the last departing boat to the official start of the World War II. Friend Professor Gorgon Reach continued noticing a blue color in his microbiology experience. He believed he was observing radiation. Chi Prama. Yeah, that's what I was getting into in my head. I was like, yeah, this is not that unfamiliar. He just got his own word for it. But yeah, he said exile. That's like the chi and the prana. Breathing in that good ass prana. Infinite Waters was just live like 2 hours ago. I was chomped in to see what he was about. Reach concluded that this life was blue and seen can be seen. Reach landed into trouble after claiming the box cured cancer. He was arrested by the FBI, claiming his box had saved several people. He also lost his position at the new school. Although no charges were made, Rich was held until January 1941. Apparently, this was a case of mistaken identity, as a New Jersey resident, William Reach, was distributing communist literature through his bookstore. That's a little deep. So the same cloudburster thing, he was saying he was able to cure cancer, and then they arrested him. He died, supposedly in a couple months sitting in jail. And we hear those stories now. People sitting in jail supposedly and then just dying. And there's always somebody that had information that they either didn't want to get exposed. That they didn't want to get exposed to either save a group of pedophiles or something in that class, or to hide technology and steal the blueprints for themselves. Or say the world is not ready. We need to still just fill them up on all these chemotherapies and pills that's gonna take the value of your life down, like your appreciation of life while you on it. Just feel like you're dying even more. Yeah, stay safe out here with the hurricanes and everything going on. And with the looting and the shooting and the cops and everything. And I know y'all saw it. The guy that was walking down the street killing people. Like he was in GTA. He was like, yo, just get off of me. And then bang, bang, just shot outs to the skateboarder. That was the first guy. His name is slipping through me right now. Love life. What that stand for? Exile. Live overly vigilant every day. I don't know. I don't got one for the life. But yeah, he was just walking down the street. He was just walking down the street after he shot the people, and y'all saw the cops just like wave to him. Like, I was watching it like nobody's about to shoot him. That's what I thought was gonna be the big turnaround when I was watching the video. Like, oh, he shot somebody down. He's about to get shot too, because everybody's there. Everybody's looking like it's about to be shot. Like, I set myself up to watch him get shot. Oh, silly me, but it's gonna happen. But then it didn't happen. But overall, over the anger though, he did get sentenced to the first-degree murder, first-degree recklessness, holding a dangerous weapon. He got like 5 different charges, and he's going to be serving a minimum of life in prison. So kudos to that. Kudos to that. But the video still got out, and it still ruptured a lot of feelings. It angered a lot of souls. As it should. As it readily should. And it just bringing out more to it, the dividing line. Like, it was somebody on my Facebook that I think after all this happened, he really, somebody I went to high school with, he posted, well, people wouldn't get shot if they complied to what the cops said. And I was like, whoa. No, you went to a school full of black people in high school, because I went to school with him, and he lives in Philly. I'm like, wow, just because you think you're making some money now or something like that, I had to delete him. I ain't even go into it. I just said, you wildin'. And then I just had to like delete it, because I said, can't let my consciousness be thrown off that far, like what I actually want to focus on. Because I already know those people exist, and they get off. They get off on writing stuff like that. Like, he just wrote simply underneath of it, why do you think that? Like, waiting for me to go off, like, oh, like, I got him. I was like, nah, you don't got me, because I don't know you. I mean, I'm not around you. I'm in Cali, y'all. We in Philly. It's just Facebook. And you're not going to be able to change anything just for me trying to get you to realize something. Like, like that person personally. Like, me trying to yell at yourself, well, you need to look up this laws and all of this stuff. Like, no, I don't have the time for that. Because that's what's going to just keep us completely back to point A, just dividing lines and looking at people like they strange, and everybody just keeping silent and going like that's not cool. Exile, what you said comes from an Atmosphere song. The lyrics. Love your life. Quick clinch, but I guess that's me. A ball of pop culture with some arms and feet. As discreet as I've tried to keep the drama. Oop. They always do that. There we go. Just the lyrics right here. As discreet as I tried to keep the drama and cancer, it's no secret I hunger for someone to feed the answers. Love life. I wish I could play the song. A soul is a soul and a shell is a shell. The border in between is full of everything you felt. Some cling to a cross cause they're tired and lost. They leave it up to the weather to measure the cost. And every time I look within, I realize the darkness, familiar to the image of the artist. Staring at the bathroom mirror in a stranger's apartment. Can't remember her name, don't remember how I got here. Then I get to the women's situations. Thanks for sharing that, Exile. I gotta hear the whole song one day. Probably play it when this is over. Gosh, like I said, that freaking, I don't know if it's coming that smoke, that fire. I'm trying to get my throat back in place, and my allergies is just up there. I've got the wildflower honey. I gotta get some bee pollen, some more concentrated, so I can really get these allergies in check. Been keeping the house dusted and cleaned and everything. Trying to keep my health in best of shape. That's why I said I wasn't going to get in no argument with that guy just because I went to school with him, so-called had some kind of emotional attachment, emotional bond. Like, that can be really manipulated. And we see that going on, because then you'll start putting that energy that can really make a change. You'll put it into just nothingness, into wasteless, useless arguments with people, when you can use that energy to create an art piece that can be put out, that can change the imagination of people. Or you can go out and protest that will change the imagination of people. You know, the March on Washington was 2 days ago. I had a couple friends, Say J, Langston, shouts to them. They actually was at the march. The march on the Black Lives Matter march. Like, that's what it was titled, I think. I said the March on Washington, but that was a long time ago. Or is that still what they calling it? Oh yeah, March on Washington. Okay. I'm still hip. It says March on Washington highlights generational divide on police reform. Because that's what it is about, a generational divide. That people that grew up with used to uphearing and listening to a certain standard of living that was based off of, these are the cops, this is you, they're here to protect you, no matter, and sometimes you ain't gonna understand it. But they just let them do what they do. But nowadays, we like, hold up. This power that we gave these motherfuckers has been abused. And is being constantly abused. And it's taking like another generation with different set of ideas, a different set of eyes. Because your eyes is your ideas. Hey.
What's up, Ty?
What's going on? I gotta change this so it'll go through the headphones real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna log back. I'm gonna cut it off and log right back on. Hold on. It wasn't picking up my oh, that's why. I had to press the button on it. I guess it was saying that I wasn't doing nothing with them, so they just cut it off. Hold on, almost there. Dang, why they playing me? Test. Yeah, I know the microphone working, but it's not picking up my headphones. It was right before I started all of this. Hold on. This Bluetooth, sorry for the technical difficulties. But that's Piano Key. Shouts Piano Key in the Discord. Come on, settings. That didn't work. Make sure your Bluetooth device is still discoverable. Always discoverable. It's right here in my ear. I discovered it. But yeah, but before I can get Piano Key in there, so it's not just y'all watching me fiddle daddle with this stuff. The March on Washington, the divide, and the different ideas that's in the youth looking back on what happened. And what happened and how things was covered up. Like our parents didn't have the internet. They didn't have phones. They wasn't able to record things so easily. And the one time they did was with Rodney King and stuff. And that was, you seen what happened that one time. All right, let's try this again. There it is. I can hear you. Hey, hey. I was gonna get this working. The E-chain. Yeah, but I don't remember the plot. I just remember that I watched it. Yeah, yep. I remember now. Oh.
But it's more so about the artificial intelligence of it all that we're creating. Fuck, man, there's so much. Anyways, if you watch that movie, Cabin in the Woods, the puppeteers, they were pretty much just humans as well, doing stuff for their own entertainment, but it wasn't really a major thing. Sorry, I'm tripping off mushrooms right now. I love you, man.
I had to go help my son with some math homework, but I had to tap in. Tell you, listen to that book and check in and see what's up to everybody.
Thanks for tapping in, bro.
I'll play some.
Later, bro. Dang. I guess it all worked out perfectly. For some reason, my headphones was not charged. And they died on 10%, which is not cool either. But they're gonna be charging while I'm in here. So give me a couple minutes before anybody want to jump into Discord. Because I don't have any other headphones. I probably can still make it work. But yeah, we'll just make it work. Go with the flow. Not building up no worries. But that's Piano Key. If y'all didn't hear about what he was saying, he was talking about the DNA and the I-Ching and the book that we was going over and how it correlates to this the double helix structure and all the chromosomes and everything. And the 64 and all the numbers play out how it was all in the I Ching thousands and thousands of years ago. And the I Ching is the old Chinese, well, not even old because they still use it. It's just real esoteric now. It's a system of magic and divination and things that was used in ancient China. So we was pointing out how awesome it was that a lot of these ancient cultures was always talking about the DNA. And learn who the DNA is, we learning who ourselves are. It's like going back and reading and seeing the ultimate internet. To go back to how we saying now the new generation is looking at the cops and the police and saying, hey, man, we a whole new generation of folks and we can see, we have the technology, we have the knowledge, we have the know-how to go into our memories and replay them and see what's going on for real, and not just go off of that story, his story, the conqueror's story. I was looking up in that book that we was reading, me and Piano Kid, they bring up how real comes from the word royal. Like when it's broken down, so what was real was told by the royals. Hey, little divine Lil D. It, yeah, it was handed down by the royals, so that's what was said, what was real. Even to the point where if the royals said something that was opposed to something that was already going on, they just broke it down, they demolished it, they wiped it out. And now what was left was what was real. And that was only because they was the only motherfuckers left with the most money or the most means to connect with a bunch of people to the point where they want to look to them for the control and everything. It's all a mind manipulation. It's all a game. It's all a game being played, and we have to learn how to use any kind of tool, any kind of technology to go to move forward with the best open possibility, a possibility that's always willing to change to the feelings of the people that's actually participating in it, the people and the environment, the all the sentient things that's around us, as sentient as you can get. This microphone is sentient to me. I can't see it. And like everything is, the trees, the grass, the flowers, the animals, our buildings that we build, our structures, our everything. Just take care of it, and then we'll be like with an open mind. And once we start relating with each other, we'll start playing with a bigger picture, or not. That's what I said, to each his own. To each his own. And that's what I was gonna get to, Lil D, is that with people using with the technology to see what the cops are doing and stuff, and like, hey, we can't keep doing it like this. Is psychonauts like us out there, like taking the LSD and the mushrooms and stuff like that. That's why if y'all got any stories, y'all can come and tie on the Discord or type it on out about what's your story, so we can add it to the piece of the pie. So we can add it to the pie, and it can do what it do. It's whatever you make it. And when you come together, put our rings like the Captain Planet thing, and then we all do something awesome with it. I'm just up for a collaboration of ideas and everything. That's why I've really come to go live, just to collab with people and to talk about ideas and create the space just to talk about ideas and stuff like that. And but the LSD and mushrooms, the technology that allows us to see the memories, like the technology here is allowing us to record and like, wait, this is what happened, motherfucker. We able to go into our DNA, to wrap everything that we've been I've been tying about our DNA, and see what's going on, see flashes of memory of past lives, of alternate lives, of things that's going on at the same time that's right next to us that probably seem like it to Muggle folk. Probably don't seem like it has anything to do with anything. And in some cases, it doesn't. But it all has to do with how in my experience, it has to do with how I'm channeling the experience from one reality to the next. It's all about how I'm doing. To another person that just exists there, probably don't mean not a goddamn thing. And that's all right. That's okay. Not going to stop me from journeying, because even if I stop myself from journeying, I'm still journeying, because that's what the psychedelics taught me. That I'm always doing something, even if I'm not aware of it. Well, consciously aware of it. And then if I'm not, somebody else most likely going to pick up on it and then do what I was not wanting to do, which is what I think keeps the world going around. Piano Key was talking about how in that movie Cabin in the Woods, how it was really, it was supposed to be a horror movie, but it was really a reality being played out on these people that they trapped in this cabin. I can't really remember if they trapped them or they signed an agreement or something like that. But they controlled their whole reality. They made unicorns and all monsters and stuff pop out. So I think I remember a part where they said they never was supposed to leave the woods. So they build up all these myths and legends and lores about never leaving out of the cabin, really, like leaving out of their structure of reality that they built for themselves. Let's see if I can get a little more in. There we go. Just gotta move mic over a bit more. So we seeing from psychedelic technology is like we are going into the memory bank. The Akashic record that a lot of people call it, that I heard from that guy that used to meditate. I forget his name. I was about to call him Carl Sagan. Am I talking about The Village, Exile? Is that another movie? The Village. Thanks, bro. Yeah. I am thinking about The Village. I'm mixing movies right now. That one is called. Oh, that's trippy. But yeah, The Village, 2004. It's about a village whose population lives in fears of creatures inhabiting the woods beyond it, referred to as those who we don't speak of. Yeah. And that's what we got a lot of things going on. There's like a lot of things in our reality now. Is like we don't speak about those kind of things. We just let that go off by the wayside. And hopefully get shriveled up in the sun if it was meant to burn up. The sun, God will take care of it. Just leave it up to God. God take care of everything. And then, man, it's wild world we live in. But in that movie, the fears and everything was pre-programmed. So like with the psychedelic technology, it's like we have the power now to see that there's a lot of things to talk about. It's a lot of things to tie on. It's a million things to always tie on. And that means tie just means think about it, just to think about it. Or if you don't want to overthink it, tie is also, it ends with an I, so it has a feminine aspect to it. So it means just to flow with it, just to flow with it, just to go in, but still go with like an adequate personality to it. Like what I'm trying to say is like a awareness. Just keep your head on your shoulders, looking left and right. I don't know. Don't even look left, right. Just walk. It's a lot that goes on. But yeah, M. Night Shyamalan made that movie. Yeah, a lot of people don't like his movies, but I always did. Shout outs to Signs with the alien that came down. But it's time for us to really, in these moments, to stand up, sit down, but make sure that, like, if you're sitting down working on a computer or some art thing or something, but make sure that your willpower is standing up and walking around, running around, doing something that creates a positive motivation in somebody else. Positive motivation. And if it's a negative motivation, I just hope in my imagination that it's for the greater good. But when it comes to shooting and stuff like that, and cops and everything shooting and people getting away with it, I gotta choose a side on that. That like that ain't gonna cut it in my reality. Ain't gonna cut it in my reality. Ain't just gonna get away with that just like that. Greater good. Yep, yeah, right. Yeah, the fuck right. Like the people that are taking guns to now peaceful protests, they are only bringing them to the protests because they want to defend the businesses. Literally, that's all. They saying that. No, that's not all, but that's all that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. And I'm like, wow, that is a big fat lie. Like you like say, oh man, we gotta protect protect this Walmart. I remember back in Philly when I was seeing people trying to call themselves protecting Target. You don't know, I need to come here every day. And they bring in ARs, and that's the world we got to deal with. So I put on my status, I said, stay strapped, because that's a legal right. That's a legal right. It's a human right, too. Even if you get an expensive crossbow or slingshot, something. I watched too much Walking Dead and got too much. I grew up in the hood, too. And projects, and when people turn to their animalistic behaviors, which is in everybody, no matter how intelligent you try to put yourself, much you say, well, I thought about that 10 times. Well, you still had to think about it 10 times. What was their first thought? Some people running off of their first instincts, as humans are going to do. But some people program first instincts is to protect the store with guns against peaceful protesters that's trying to protest against police brutality of getting shot in the back while sleeping, while going to your car, while doing multiple regular day things. So proof in the pudding. proof in the pudding. The guy that the kid that the murderer kid that shot the 17-year-old that shot the people at the protest. His parents were big gun active. I'll just look it up. 17-year-old. What was his name? Oh, they got his name already coming up. Let me look up parents. Like I said, we program from our parents. And psychedelics for me and deep meditations and stuff like that allow me to go into that memory of myself. The memory bank of myself. I'm like, hey, I don't want that to happen no more. Like, I don't want, whoa, what's going on? Here it is right here. Parents. I thought I had the image. It was on, I saw it on Facebook. I don't want to just keep flashing images of the actual event though. Y'all all saw it on Facebook or whatever social media platform y'all a part of. And if y'all not and y'all came into it on your own, hey, kudos. They not showing the parents. Let me put mom. No, they not showing the parents. Well, I saw the parents and they both was strapped. And that's not a bad thing. But hold on, it was something that I read. Like, I don't want to just make it up. Born in Blue Lives Matter, young man, Control F, mom. No? Parents. I swore they was gonna talk about his parents in this. I saw the little picture. Alright, yeah. If anybody else can find it on your spare time, just let me know. God's Reflections. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Psy Tai Podcast. How do you feel about white people and racism? Do you think it is natural? Do I think it's natural for white people to feel racist? Or that race? Yeah, I think that the way that society has been put up and me popping up into the world, that if you pop into this reality, what all the things that have been said about black people and brown people and all the history that has been rewritten and reshaped and reimaged to fit a certain pattern, I think that a lot of people do get caught up when they're born because of what was made for them, like literally created for them. And that's why I think I remember hearing this a lot growing up about they say white privilege, and how they say white privilege don't really exist. When other people say, yeah, it does exist, but you have to be really intelligent on how you think about it, about how the court systems are not always after them, how they got the loans, how they can get, how they already mostly have a trust fund from their parents or their grandparents or something like that, that is able to pass down all this money to them. So they like have certain different head starts on life that they're not even aware that they have in the first. A lot of, not all of them, but a lot of Caucasian people are not aware that they have in the first place. So with me, the term natural really flip-flops around a lot. But in that case, I think race, that's why I think a lot of things are being talked about now. And it's going to be people that stick to their ground, like in a lot of situations. That's going to stick to their ideal patterns and be like, hey, this is just who I am. I like the Confederate flag. Not even going into the history, like, why are you waving a Confederate flag when that's in America, when that's the team, the side that actually lost the war? So even if it's history, that's the side that lost. They're Americans. You're an American now. You're not a Confederate. So people really play a lot of games in my book. But it really is on just how much what you decide to do. And that's why I think technology is making that choice to be ignorant, which is not be aware of certain information, a lot lower, so that a lot of the excuses that we heard in the past won't be able to really be used anymore. So that natural flow is changing. It's like can change up. It's changing up. Hey, what's going on, DeAndre? Hopefully your day is doing fantastic. Oh yeah, those are my thoughts on natural and racism and things, because it pops up on a lot of on all fields, on a lot of different fields. But it all depends on your culture and what you're introduced to and everything. And America is racist because of the ideals, based off the ideas that's implanted and already working out in place, worked out through people and objects and symbols and everything. So racism is natural because it can be all someone knows. I would say so. I would say so. And that's why I say I'm bringing up this thing of just tying, combining your mind with your heart, see what your gut is saying, and then let whatever come out. Not just trying to go off of, going about what you can think about, what you're able to think about, what you're able to latch on and see, what you feel, which is like who you are, what's working inside of you, what's the programs, what TV show gave you this catchphrase that you've been saying for 10 years and you didn't even recognize, and then what your gut mind is saying, and like that will to change, to actually do something, as I would put it, like the solar polex in the chakra system. So it's a lot. But conversations and conversations, I think, is a game changer, as it always been. We just stopped listening to each other. We really stopped listening to each other. And in place just said, this is who I am. This is what I am, in such a rigid structure. Like they say, the women femininity has really been taken out of humanity a lot, I could say. In Western culture, when they try to compare Western culture to Eastern culture and stuff like that. But I think it's really on a lot of bigger scales and around the world that the feminine divinity in a lot of things has been taken away. The creative drive, the creative spirit, and just a lot of masculine things been running on of just, this is what this is. This is this. This is this. This is this. Always this. But it's always been. This is. So now, like, new inspirations are able to arrive, and new creative flows is able to be worked with. And we see this happening on the lower planes too, with a lot of things coming up. With actual women speaking up for more inherent rights. More inherent rights and making more money, being heard more, being respected more. Matriarchy or patriarchy, and why? Anywhere you can draw a line separation, any type of distortions or dimensions or perspectives or an atrocity can be committed. Yeah, anywhere where you draw that line. I'm thinking of movies where they would draw the line, like, if you cross this, I'm just gonna have to throw my hands up, like, don't cross that line, like, let's draw a line in the sand. And I remember some cartoons be like, I'm gonna draw another line. All right, another line. But yeah, you said matriarchy or patriarch. I'm gonna look up a woman who is the head of the family tribe. Or a patriarchy, which is probably a man. A male who is head of the family tribe. In my weird and wacky world, in the world, the way that it's structured, I think it really has to be both. it definitely has to be both. Like those words, like is what Exile wrote underneath of it. Just a line of separation that causes perspectives and people thinking that they own the other person. Make up this illusion. All is one, but one is many. Yeah, that's why I think even when we talk about it, it's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. The separation is always, I'm going to cause a separation once I start drawing a picture on the paper. Now that thing has a whole life of its own that I can only imagine. So yeah, I'm with you, God Reflections. I'm just bouncing around a bunch of ideas and jumping on whatever train hop into my vicinity. Whatever train pulls up first. But yeah, I think it has to be. I think it has to be both, because whoever, I think, is more about the energy. Is more about the energy, like who is coming up with the ideas that's structuring the reality, like in a relationship. Like who's the one, what brain is channeling the ideas at the time. I don't think it has to deal with who's the male or who's the female, just who has the idea that's going to work. And if the idea don't work, it don't work. It don't matter if it's from her or him. Let's not go with it because it don't work. It don't feel like it's gonna work. Can absolute truth be written? Nope, can't. Exile. That's why we was just saying. Exile. That's why we was just saying. I was just saying. As soon as I draw on that piece of paper, that picture is already separated. It already has a life of its own. So as soon as it's written, it's different. It's subjective. It's as subjective as it can get. This reality is. As opposed to being objective. Yeah, objective. Expressing or dealing with facts or conditions as perceived without distortion by personal feelings or prejudice. I can never say that word. Say that word for me. Prejudice or interpretations. Because it looked like to me it says prejudices. But I always gotta say that's not what it says. No, absolutely. So let's keep on going with the flows as we know. Because all we can work off of is what we know. That's why the overthinking is too much. Overthinking is like an overpopulation. That's why that's why I like that I was able to use the mushrooms as a technology and meditations to let those imaginations go where they need to go and allow me to focus on what's going on here, so that the imaginations that I have, like they in some way or another give me flashes of what's going on here, of what I can do with myself here. I'm looking for a rat. I don't think I got one. That's all right. So how do we form continuous agreement? I think the only way to come about agreements is how we see now, by forming tribes. Forming tribes or grouping yourself around familiar thinking people. And those familiar thinking people are still going to have thoughts that's going to be like, hey, wait a minute. But it's not going to have you in a place of wanting to kill another person or think that you have objective control over their reality. I think we should like just communicate with people of similar vibes. And whatever fits you and floats your boat, that's who you are. Like, say I would just envision, say you a bunch of murderers or something. I just think like a murderer. I'm just going to murder all the time. Well, let's have them on the island of murderers. Like, just y'all stay over there. Or like whatever happens, because I know people still rupture into anger and things happen. Like Cain killed Abel. as they say in that story. And hey, Cain wasn't all wrong. Like, why you ain't accept my offering? But yeah, y'all get what I mean. Like how we doing now. You don't see really people did in the beginning, and people probably will again. But I'm here talking about the wildest things. People come on here and say things that go against the grain all the time. Yet you don't see people always pop on here and just say, hey, yo, fuck you. Yo, what the fuck you talking about? Man, you need to cut your channel off. You're messing up the minds of the youth. You're doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think eventually when you real about it, you really start creating an energy. But still, yeah, it's create an energy, a vibe. And we hear a lot of things. People create communes and stuff like that. In the show Upload I was watching, for the people that didn't have unlimited amount of money in the future, like you was able to, when you were on the brink of death, you was able to have your consciousness or your points in consciousness uploaded to a computer and live it out in there, or you can just go off and travel into the multiverse. So not everybody can afford it. So this guy was creating a code or a reality thing, like with a codes where he can, for people that didn't have money, so they can still like have that point in consciousness still exist here in some kind of way and exist in the virtual realm, which was so wild because they were still able to talk to the people that was so-called, that was still here in the living world, like through a screen, and they was able to see in their world, or go into their world with virtual reality glasses and exist with the person that was so-called, I don't even want to use that word dead, but what our old parents would call dead. So in this reality, I see that we can do that already by like creating, like go as far creating a commune, purchasing land, and then like keep expanding that land, bring different family members on. It was I think it was 13 families in Atlanta that African American black families that came together, and they brought a big huge acres of land like recently, so that they can like claim that now they're going to be safe as they can be because they're on their own land. Now when they go back out, hey, they prepare for the worst, but now they have a place where they know that, man, this is a place we created, and it takes a lot of work. 90 acres. Yeah, that's a lot. 90 acres. And they can keep on expanding. From there. And it just takes that knowledge, that know-how, and that work ethic to actually do it. Because in the show Upload, they killed him. Well, they murdered his body when they found out that he was creating this other reality for people to go in, besides the one with all the money, because people could still go inside the one if they didn't have all the money, but they didn't have unlimited data. Now y'all all got a phone, and for y'all that grew up, I'm 27, those a little bit younger, probably older than me too, y'all know how it is when they used to like really have low data and you couldn't do anything about it because it wasn't really Wi-Fi around. So that was the reality of you live on 2 gigs a month. So those guys like, nah, we can still strive, like just let me work. So I think that would be a way to really work together, put all the action. I actually was looking at buying my first plot of land, and the sync is real how it plotted up, because I saw my girlfriend's sister bought some land in New Mexico, and then a lady that my girlfriend works for started talking to me about the surrounding areas in Chico where I'm at that is selling land. And she was saying how she had a house up in Paradise that burned down 2 years ago when the Paradise fires happened. Y'all heard about Northern California, but she still has her land, and she bought a pre-manufactured house and just said, I'm just going to put this on here for now, and I'm going to put my son on there too so he can have his own house. So now we both live on that land, on that couple acres that they have, and they surrounded by the woods and everything. So she was putting me hip to the game, and I was just taking notes like, yes, like I'm willing to, if you're willing to help me out and put me on, I'm doing. I got the work, I'm getting my money up, and I'm talking to people, getting my motivation up for myself, as well as helping motivate other people, just sharing the vibe energy. And she sent me the realtor information, so The keys is being given. I'm just learning what doors to put them in, where keys go where. And I want us all to have keys too. So if y'all got any keys, we can share them on the Discord. The link in the description. That's a way that we can all stay connected. That's not as public as Facebook and everything. It's like real tight knit. You can create your own server and everything. We can share movies, articles, got different sections, and well, I'm on there right now. Welcome to the Discord. But yeah, this it right here. Me and X, I'll be posting. This was me. I was just posting this. I was Forrest Gump. No, another one, Nick Cannon. They post pictures of the sky, pictures, articles that we run across, thinking about neural links and VR, ancient cultures, Vikings, beers, Exile putting this down, the tetrahedrons and Taurus fields, some ancient Sumerians. And here go like random videos watch, trip music, teaching vids, dreams, quick thoughts, stay fit, gotta work out, spells, rituals, DMT videos, cannabis talk, music from the muses, psychedelic experiences, psychedelic research, technology, even food. Because you know we all like to take pictures of food as human beings. It's just a thing we do. But yeah, that's always there. And you can play music or whatever. People can join. We can play whole movies in there. And really come together, share ideas. And always had to be live and on the public forum and stuff like that. Like how YouTube is. So, yeah, we working on the groundwork. Working on no telling what's next. I'm just with the tie. I'm just with the flow of things right now. But as the ideas come, I'm with it. Yes. Kiss. Hold on one sec. Just come back when you want it. I'm not gonna smoke it all. My bad. I had to get that get my endocannabinoids pumping. That serotonin dripping. But that's the Discord. That's the Discord. And I learned so much from connecting with everybody that has come here so far, that has come through the channel, shared a little tidbit of knowledge there, a little tibby-tib of some experience there, or an interpretation. That's been going on Discord for about a year. Shout outs to True Light Stories that paved the way. Check out his YouTube channel where he started out with the Discord. Shout outs to Hyper Hillbilly, who gave him the idea to go to the Discord. And he's a guy we never met in person. He lives in, I think he lives in another country at that. So with the spreading of ideas, they can create art forms in ways that we're not even aware of yet. Because podcasts existed, but was not in the form of that it exists in now with the True Life Stories, the King Guys, and the Psy Tai Podcast. So now I see others catching on too with psychedelic podcasts. Alex Gray, the guy that made the eyes with the painting, he has a podcast now. I'm like, whoa. He doesn't post that often though. But him and his wife, they do something like that. So the ideas, like we went through that line before about where ideas come from and stuff like that. So if y'all have any ideas on where ideas come from, y'all can text right in the chat and we can tie you on it. But yeah, the ideas, they're gonna come out. They're gonna come out in the populace, and the way that they play is always weirdly wonderful. Like opposed to like who catches it first, who works with it the most, who wish they would have worked with it 5 years ago, who think that was a bad idea. And that just takes me back to the cabin in the woods and the village example of things being played out and us being like running with the natural feeling of what's going on and trying to interpret our environment with our instincts. King Guys is dope. I got recommended by True Life, but he says a lot of cussing. That's the eyes for you. That's King Guys. He gonna keep it the fuck G. That's my man. But that's the trifecta. That's the trifecta. We got True Life going diving deep with the mushroom experiences and the high doses. And we got King Guys like letting the youth know like for sure like what is going on like in the reality of the now in your face. And then we got Ty like woo. Woo. That's my interpretation of myself. Somebody else can have a different interpretation, because I have many as well. But Ty is tying everything together. with the team. It was another movie I was watching. What was the name? Things are not the same since I marathoned it. It was a show about genetics. Oh wow, that's not a good. Wait, it's a show about genetics. It's on Amazon Prime. Genetics, Amazon Prime show. I'm gonna see if it comes up. Oh, they actually saying this show's called Genetics. About genetics. Hold on, I'm going somewhere with this. Amazon Prime show. Dealing with genetics. Oh, you can't get that Pacific Google? I done tricked the AI. Haha, finally. Typed in something that actually didn't come up. That's what it is. True Life, the hippie, Oz, the blunt teacher, and Ty, the cool kid with a brain. Peace, loved ones. What's good, y'all? Taking some fellas on their first trip later on. I'm gonna be the hood shaman tonight. Do your thing, infinite love. Spread that infinite love. That's how you do it. That's what we do. Hood shamans, even if we're not using the word. Well, the first trip, that's going to be an amazing experience, even for you. Like, I know when I have people on their first trips, it's all I'm going through something as well, just alongside with them. It's like, yo, this is amazing. Just watch it. Just me witnessing you going through this. You changing my life. Putting a smile on my face. Like, wow, I remember that. I've been there before. Oh, man, I can't figure out the name of that show. And it's not coming up right now. But it was a show dealing with genetics and modifying genetics, and it was this one lady that was... No, man, nope's not coming up. It was this... Dang. I'm trying to see if somebody got in a 31 or like they top best shows on Amazon Prime, so it can like pop up real quick. Or I could just do this. But if I take more than 30 more seconds to find it, I'm just going to talk about it. I'm not going to waste y'all time like that. Do they have a history on here? Dang. Nope. That's corny. I was just watching it, but they not gonna make it pop up. Alright, that's alright. Like on my watch list, they only have 5 movies. Y'all can't even see anything I'm doing. Hold on. Sorry about that. But yeah, Infinite Love. If you can, let us know how that experience goes. Goes on the next podcast or whenever you can catch me live or anything like that. But in the show where I was saying that the lady, she was one of the most brilliant scientists that walked the earth, because she was messing with genetics, and she built this company up to the point where they was about their business. They had these machines, and they went out to different colleges and got the brightest of the brightest in order to work on their team and stuff like that. But the one thing that she was the thing that she did, her mission was to end diseases so that humans can be born without diseases. So she wanted, while they're still in their embryonic stage of development, go into their DNA and change things around, change their coding around, so that if there was going to be have a little limp or crookedness or whatever the disability is to them, it'll be eradicated on sight. And then they'll grow up to be functional human beings. So the horror of the movie, though, how they put it, was that when she was doing her experiments, she made some embryos sick on purpose so that she can then go and try to fix them. But 3 of them, or a lot of them, died, and only 1 of them survived. And that's the one that survived is the main character of the story. So she goes undercover and actually becomes a geneticist herself and gets hired by her just to do an espionage and get the news out on what was going on, so that she like, yo, you killed my parents and my brother and all of them and stuff like that, and you built this big company out in order to help people, but the way that you got here wasn't all so fresh as the presentation that you're putting on. So I gotta let everybody know about you. And along the way, they was really hitting to a lot of cool technologies that's going to be going on. But as we said, the path that's paved in order to go there, a lot of people are not going to really want that to happen. Do I want it to happen? I don't know. So, embryonic state, I would say no. I would culturally say no and stuff like that. But I'm not that scientist with that drive that's doing that. Or is there another way to do it? I'll probably be that scientist that hopefully comes up with the more ecological, more humane way of doing it. But in this show, this is what happened. I can't rewrite the script. So my thoughts is all going off of this movie. So she did all of this, but she was real cutthroat. She stopped caring about the actual human element of feelings because she was so driven to, she didn't even want to have kids of her own because she was so driven to do this thing of modifying genetics. So y'all gotta check that show out if I actually figure out what it's called. But it's on Amazon Prime. And I spent 15 minutes talking about that, and I still don't have the title. No, the fact that genetics, why I bring that up is that genetics is going to really be a turning point in human evolution and how we actually evolve as humans and what is considered natural and unnatural. Here you go. Natural and unnatural is going to be a real dividing line in the human consciousness, like a new separating line. Because now, like, the real line is like, of course is not natural. Like, what are you talking about? You're going in and you're changing things around. Like, you're playing God, as religion would put it. Like, that was the big thing they put in here, because she was like, we are God and stuff like that. But then how they put it in the movie, like, just because you claim to be a god, or as we all see, we are all God's reflections walking around in this, as a God's reflection name points out, moving out as these individual gods. Like, that word God, man, I just get it out the picture. Because as above, so below. As I am up there, I am right here, just in a different form or faction, with a different set experiences, in a form of separation, in some kind of dense form of matter that's called Maya. But so I am able to enact change. Like, I do feel that my ideas should be acted out so that I can change reality or bring about new ideas, even if they go against the grain. That's how psychedelics, that's why I talk about psychedelics a lot, because it goes against the grain. It's not, a lot of people will be like, hey man, what you talking about, man? That's that crazy white folk stuff, or that's that, it's gonna have you go loony, or have you just walking down the street, or have you, like, you know all the terrors that you heard about psychedelics and why not to do it and stuff like that. And on this channel, I still do not condone the use of psychedelics. I'm not telling you to go and do that. I'm just saying that's something that goes against the grain that's talked about on this channel. So that's the idea that I really had to work with in my life, because it has taken a toll, like with family matters and friendships and stuff. I got a lot of family and friends and stuff that really don't talk to me. Like, they see my stuff on Facebook all the time. They'll even hit me up, like, for advice, like, not even advice, to say, hey, or I will hit them up to say, hey, and da-da-da, like, what's going on? And then the conversation would go shallow. There's a couple people, like, shout outs to Ryan. He has a YouTube channel. He makes YouTube videos, makes music videos, been doing music. I started rapping him a long time ago, and now he do hot wing challenges. Couple people, but vast majority, like, they'll like a meme, but if I put a video of me talking about something, it's like it just go by the wayside. Like, no likes, no comment, no, if I talk to them, like, oh, I know that you doing a show or something like that. It's just like, oh, how's the kid? And I'm like, all right, yeah, I understand. The kid is doing very awesome, very excellent. So it does come with a huge toll that I'm living with, striving with, and experiencing that, hey man, it's all right. It's all right, and it's okay to keep on talking about it, to keep going with the experience. Because at first I was pushing it. I was like, man, psychedelics. Now I'm just like, I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. I'm just Thaian. I am Thai. My name even was Captain Naga, because the Nagas was the serpents and the teachers and stuff like that in the ancient Asian cultures. And the Naga serpents come out in different parts of religions and stuff like that. And that comes out sometimes. But I'm just Thai. I'm just tying it all together. I'm just floating. I'm just here. I'm doing my thing. The pressure is going to keep going. But I bring this up because of the genetics and things being changed around. We even see this with the LGBTQ going on, and how it was introduced to society. Like, and how it was mucked in with a lot of confusion, like mucking it in with pedophilia? Is it pedophilia or pedophile? How you say? I keep saying paraphernalia. That's what I'm mixing, paraphernalia and pedophiles up. But how it get mixed in with pedophiles and stuff like that, and diseases and like all this other stuff. So now the actual idea of it in the culture gets like discriminated and bashed and beat up against, when it's people that grew up in their environment with their natural feelings and going off of their programming, just like everybody else was going off of their programming from whatever it was from the start. And the psychedelics really get you in tune that as soon as you come out the womb, you are introduced to a reality where you're given a name. That's why a lot of moms and stuff try to go for the natural birth, and introduce their babies in the world in a way where they feel more comfortable with, instead of like in the doctor room and like, I don't know what's going on, all these nurses, and just breathe, just hold your hand. They hire a midwife that was working with them, that works with them for like a couple months beforehand, and you know it works. All right, Rudy, you can go outside. Oh. So, a lot of what was I talking about? A lot of things is going to be changing. A lot of ideas is going to be rubbing against the cultural grain a lot, and a lot of things people is going to confuse it with false information, and that's how history get mixed up. That's what I said was talking about racism earlier. People racist because they really going off of their feeling they was with, and then when they try to fact check it, they going off of fake history that when you go back didn't even happen, even if it was written in a high school history textbook in any state public school. Like, you know how much wrong information was read out of there? Like, y'all all know Christopher Columbus, point A. He discovered America. He conquered the Aztecs. They gave them right religion and stuff like that, and then mysteriously they all disappeared. And then later you learn about the diseases that they spread. And that was some form of easy conquering because they didn't even have to fight that much. They just had to cough. Exists. And we see that now, bros, with this COVID and everything going on. Like, stay safe. Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Like, whatever your view on it is, whatever your view. That's why, however your view is, keep your immune system up through vitamins and exercise. Way more than the mask shit and the hand sanitizer and everything that they later came out and said COVID don't stay on surfaces. So, and sunlight eradicates COVID. Like, this is what they came out and said. The scientists of Earth came out and said. So, what they're not saying on top of that, but we said before on this Psy Tai Podcast, keep on your vitamins. Get some vitamin D, which I was learning from the scientists on Joe Rogan podcast, works as a very beneficial hormone. So as well as getting it from the sun, since we indoors a lot more often nowadays, like get the supplement game up. Multivitamins, vitamin C, get them oranges packed, not just from orange juice, which got a lot of sugar in it. But yeah, the immune system. Even with cordyceps mushrooms is what I'm getting in. What I've been into now: cordyceps mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, reishi mushrooms. What other one do I have? I still got the CBD. The CBD helps with the endocannabinoid system, helps your inflammatory system, so you can keep your levels checked, or keep my levels checked. I'm trying to see what else is in that closet. The St. John's wort and the asawanga, that's for anxiety and relaxation purposes. I don't know about vitamin wise. But yeah, but with the intake into your body is so that whatever happens against whatever's being said, but against whatever you encounter while you this whatever it is what it is on Earth, you'll have the immune system that can fight. It's like just training like Goku. Preparing. And all of that builds up the mental too, for me. Builds up my mental strength. So that now I'm thinking about, I'm taking care of my health. What else can I do to take care of my health a little more? All right, I started jogging again. I mentioned I started the yoga a couple past podcasts ago. I've been keeping that up. But I started jogging again. And look. I can't look at the activity on my phone. On the watch. I was going to see if I could look at the running activity so I could show y'all. But But this watch right here, it got green on there, so it went away. Hold on. 80 blah 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 blah. I was about to say my password. I don't know how clear that actually is. But that's just my heart rate and total miles walked and ran and all that stuff today. But the green screen effect is really taking it all away. Sorry about that. But it keeps track of how much I'm standing up, how much I'm moving around, how many minutes I exercise and stuff like that throughout the day. So I'm really enjoying this watch. I went for a jog earlier this morning. That's what I was really getting into. And I'm at 1.27 miles, which is really not a lot compared to my friend Marcus. Shout out to Marcus. Check out Just Laughs. I gotta plug him. I'm plug him in the description of this. He's went off to be a comedian. He was my high school mate in Philly. But now he jogs. Ever since his dad passed away, like a couple weeks ago, he's really been pushing himself, and he jogs about 6 miles every day. So salute to Marcus LeVar. That's his name. I'm at 1.2 miles, and I'm like, whew, all right, let me put my hands above my head and walk for a bit. But today was different because today is like week 2, so I was actually wanted to run more, but I for some reason my mental was just like, all right, we made it, let's just stop now. But tomorrow we're gonna go a little farther, probably do 2 laps, get to 2 miles. It's 1.2 miles in 10 minutes. I don't know if that's good or bad, or I don't know. Let me see. 1.2 10 minutes. Six minutes. 6 minutes and 40. What? How did they word this? Look at this. Look at this, guys. Why they word it like this? Oh, too many tabs. They don't have the right one. Hold on. They're right there. For 10 minutes is probably unachievable. So yes, anybody running 1.5 miles in 10 minutes is pretty darn good. But I didn't run 1.5. So I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna try to get there. Yeah, y'all know I don't like all my knowledge and all the stuff that I do is really all for whim. Like some things I do hear other people say, but there's nobody around me saying, go do this, go do that. Or I was doing this at this rate and blah, blah, blah. Unless I'm on the Psy Tai Podcast and I'm chatting it up with Exile or True or King Eyes, Piano Key, Infinite Love, like y'all folks that been here for a minute, or DeAndre. And I'm going off of my like own inspirations a lot of times. So I don't know if it's good or bad. I just know if it feels good, or if I feel like it benefited me, like it allowed me to relax more at the end, or I feel stronger after doing it for like a good 2 weeks, or how it responds to the people around me. Like if it does make me a better person around them. Like that's what I'm really working off of those gears. So when you hear me talk about a lot of things on the show, or if you see me present things and stuff like that, it's never to show off or nothing like that. It's just, hey, what's up? Like, tell me how I can even do better, or if I'm even doing it bad, or whatever the case is. I'm just presenting the art. This is all art. All the art form, the art of talking, the gift of gab, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I pay attention to a lot that goes on in the world, and as well, I like to have fun. And as well, I like to, yeah, I love y'all guys. Love you guys. What else is going on in the world? Let me type in news. No, I don't want to know the coronavirus news of the week. That's if they title it like that, I don't want to click it. Oh, that's something I can tie on that I ran across earlier. Let's see if I can find the video to it. Elon Musk, he demonstrated his Neuralink. Wow, yo, wait, I gotta show y'all this. Y'all know we magicians up in here. Y'all saw how I was flashing the phone, the Apple Watch, the watch to the camera and stuff, trying to show the stuff. YouTube just made a new thumbnail for the podcast, and what they did was make it so that it said 333, like they got the 3.33 miles, and they made that the thumbnail. So shout outs to the YouTube AI for keeping it as real as it gets. It was like, yo, I saw 333, I gotta take a screenshot. Yo, I was on mushrooms about 2 days ago. A good, not that much, but it was good enough to be up for about 28 hours of my life. And but I caught 333, I caught 444, I caught 555, without even like always glancing at my watch like, what time is it? What time is it? It was just like, whoa, or I was just looking at sun. It was like, oh, all right, I got to screenshot that. So then the AI got me back. Touche. All right, but what I was tying on was Elon Musk and his Neuralink device. And his Neuralink device, for those who don't know, it's a link where he wants to connects people's brain, or he says consciousness, like he uses those words like that, to a computer. And his things that he wants the device to be small, really, really small. And really, I watched the presentation of it, and they tested it out on pigs, like in the public view, like live. They had the pigs right there. Hold on, let's see if I can go through this without getting copyrighted. I'm probably going to just show the pictures of it as I go through, so we can have some visual as we proceed. Yes, indeed. So here you go with his black and white, as usual, black and white suit. Here were the pigs that they put the Neuralinks in, and right here he's showing how happy the pigs are. He like, yeah, this is a happy pig.
So here's Dorothy, and in the case of Dorothy, Dorothy used to have an implant, and then we removed the implant. So this is
and that's the one where they showing that it used to have the implant, and then they took it out. So they compared it to a pig that never had it, so they can show that the pig, in their example, that's not me vouching for them, in their example, they show how the pig is still as happy as a regular pig without the link. And what's this one right here?
Right. This is a high energy pig.
This is the one with the Neuralink in it.
Gertrude, thanks for coming out.
And that's the machine reading it,
so
the brain scan.
The beeps you're hearing are real-time signals from the Neuralink in Gertrude's head. So this Neuralink connects to neurons that are in her snout. So whenever she snuffles around and touches something with her snout, that sends out...
The internet cut off. Sorry for the